to start off by asking a couple favors of you here today. The first is that you have some patience for me this morning. That you pray that I make it through this, make it through today. And more importantly, I ask that you pray that the family makes it through today. You see, today is a really, really, really tough day. The past couple months have been really difficult. And just like many or all of you here today, I'm grieving as you're grieving over the loss of Mark Wine. The last couple months have been flooded with many memories, many stories, many emotions, anger, sadness, and many, 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 many tears. I'm going to read a passage from Luke 10, 25, 37. It's the parable of the Good Samaritan. On one occasion, an expert in the law stood up to test Jesus. "Teacher," he asked, what must I do to inherit eternal life?" "What is written in the law?" he replied. "How do you read it?" He answered, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your strength, with all your mind, and love your neighbor as yourself." "You have answered correctly," Jesus replied. "Do this, and you will live." But he wanted to justify himself, so he asked Jesus, "And who is my neighbor?" In reply, Jesus said, "A man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho when he was attacked by robbers. They stripped him of his clothes, beat him, and went away, leaving him half dead. A priest happened to be going down the same road, and when he saw the man, he passed by on the other side. So too, a Levite, when he came to the place, saw him, passed by on the other side. But a Samaritan, as he traveled, came where the man was, and when he saw him, he took pity on him. He went to him and bandaged his wounds, pouring oil and wine on him. Then he put the man on his own donkey, brought him to the inn, and took care of him. The next day he took out 2 denarii and gave them to the innkeeper. He said, 'Look after him, and when I return, I will reimburse you for any extra expense you may have.' Which of these 3 do you think was a neighbor to the man who fell into the hands of robbers?" The expert in the law replied, "The one who had mercy on him." Jesus told him, "Go and do likewise." See, the Lord has blessed each of us with certain gifts. Mark's gift, he was the Good Samaritan. I too often would tend to be more like the priest of the Levite, but Mark treated each and every neighbor, classmate, co-worker, friend, relative, stranger, and others as himself. As someone mentioned, Mark didn't have a mean bone in his body. He always put others first. He didn't judge. He didn't look down on others. He saw others and encountered others just as the Lord sees them. He had that gift and he used it each and every day. I could stand here and share countless stories and examples of just how Mark did this. I could tell you how 20 years ago he dropped everything, took days off work, and along with our other friend Daryl, helped Beth and I move to North Carolina. Or how Mark would secretly sneak money into a friend's car every week as she was a young single mom struggling to make ends meet. How he became an ordained minister so he could marry his sister and several others. Or how Mark would stop and talk to new hires at work, making sure that they were okay and comfortable. I could go on and on all day for hours and hours. But here's what I like to do instead. Here's my second favor. Just as we heard from Jesus in Luke 10, I'd like for you to once per day be like Mark, be like the Good Samaritan. Look to Jesus for strength. Think of Mark Wine, selfless, and put others first. Just once every day, be a little bit more like Mark. In closing, I'm sure vision shortly after Mark passed, while I was in worship, while I was really hurting and grieving. I asked the Lord why. And he showed me a vision of Jesus standing behind Mark, his arms wrapped around him. And he told me, I got it. Mark was peaceful, smiling,